Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning here today. Listen, I am tired. I am jet lagged. I'm back in my abode in Buff. I know that in November, the winters are coming. The winter is coming. Fuck, man. The White Walkers and shit, like fucking minus 10 degrees. Gotta bring out the massive fur coat. Yeah, I got a fur coat. Got a problem with that? Well, it's a jacket, technically. So, the point here is this, alright? You guys get what you get. I don't give a fuck. You know what? I'm skipping the summary. No summary. We're going to dive right into the review, the key points, and that's it. So this is going to be One Piece, episode 658 review. Link in the box below on One Piece Official. Now, I know that there are some cats that want Crunchyroll links. For every other series that I review, I always do Crunchyroll. And I figure since One Piece Official, that keyword official, you kind of want One Piece Official. But if you want to go on Crunchyroll, by all means, have at it. Though I'm not gonna put it in the box below, at least not today. Next week, I'll consider it probably. So, first thing I want to talk about here. I mean, the whole Bartolomeo thing, basically, Luffy's in by, and that's it, done. And pretty much gonna take Luffy over to Zoro. Now, when it comes to the main points, the main key points, there's only two main key points. Number one, what went down in the Junkyard area. Number two, with the Chief Tontatta talking about the Tontatta history. Now, let me start there. The Tontatta history. Fascinating. The first very important thing. The Tontatta were near extinction. They were near extinction at some point in the distant past. A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far away, they were near extinction. And if it wasn't for the Don Quixote family, they would have been annihilated. But in return, they became slaves. So it was considered to be the worst part, like the worst point in Tontatta history, when they were slaves. And they were forced to work for very little, if not anything at all. While the humans above them, because they were working underground, while the humans above them, they lived in peace and tranquility, and they were rich. Like, yeah, we have money. But what happened when you go back to Flamingo's talk, when Flamingo talked to Law about his history, about his family, what happened? The world government, 800 years ago, all the noble families, including the Quixote family, with the exception of the Nefertari family, because Vivi's family, they all went to Mary Jo's, and now they just chill at Mary Jo's. So who takes over? The Riku family. And when the Riku family takes over, they are kind, they are benevolent, and they stop all the slavery. The first King Riku. And he gives the Tontatta, he tells them, you can take whatever you want to. And he asks for nothing in return. But out of that kindness, the Tontatta, they let the foliage flourish across the island, across the country. And Dressrosa, even though it wasn't a very rich country, there was peace and tranquility, and everyone was happy. Something happened 10 years ago where in comes Flamingo, like, yeah, I'm back, bitches, with the Quixotes are here, and they take over. Something happens with the latest King Riku, and he gets dethroned, and now there have been wars starting across the area. So this goes back to the first key point, which is King Riku and the Junkyard area, where in which it's explained by Elizabello, Sai, and the other people there that there have been ongoing battles and wars throughout the entire area, throughout the entire region. And so that means that obviously, and very important, the Marines in the Grand Line, they could lock down. The Marines could go from island to island. Okay, like for example, Garb. I mean, even though it's not really it's not on the Grand Line, but still. Garp, when it came to an island that was, I think it was his home island, right? I think it was the home island of the Goat Kingdom. He put a sign like, this is Marine territory. Or maybe it was his hometown of where Luffy was born, but whatever. They put a sign up Like, this is our territory, or like, this is like Marine protected. The Marines, they can lock down in the East Blue. The North Blue has some issues because Dragon's up there. At least pre-time skip, he was up there doing all types of shit. But the, East Blue, West Blue, South Blue, Grand Line, they can lock down. But when it comes to the New World, not so much, because the New World is a whole new territory that's run by the Yonko, and there's also ongoing wars everywhere. And even though this war is instigated by Flamingo, who is a Shichibukai, the Marines they're not locking down, clearly. And Flamingo's making millions. So it shows you that the area is still in turmoil. I mean, and granted, One Piece does have a whole different atmosphere where you look at the area and, well, not the area, but like you look at the arc in of itself, and like you have these toys and you have like these Tontatta that look pleasant and so on and so forth. But given the actual context of what they were saying, there's war and chaos, not only in the Protons Kingdom, but also in Kano Kuni as well. So this also could apply to Wano Kuni as well. But Wano Kuni, again, they have their samurai. So because the New World is an area of the most chaotic place in the world, and the Marines can't crack down, they have to establish their own. They have to establish their own military might, so they don't have to rely on the Marines, obviously, because the Marines themselves aren't going to be guaranteed to show up. Now, that's very important, obviously. And, seeing the interaction between King Riku and Elizabeth was pretty cool, because they're royalty, like they're kings. I mean, one's a former king, but still, just seeing that relationship was pretty cool. Like, the last time I remember a king being that involved with a story, with the main arc, is Vivi's father. Because I was going to say Gonfall, but Gonfall's not a king, he's a god. He's... Okay, fine, well, that has his issues in of itself, or whatever. And... what's his name in Water 7? Frankie's friend, for Christ's sakes. The shipwright, another guy. Tom Sand. Oh, not Tom. Jesus. I forgot his name, man. I forgot his fucking name. Whatever. Like, that guy, he was just the leader of the shipwrights. So he wasn't a king, per se. He wasn't royalty. I remember his name. I remember it, but I don't remember it. Like, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't say it. It's pissing me off. So, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll get it one day. I'll remember it at some point, obviously. So, that was nice. And then we have Sai pretty much being, like, just taken out. Sai was transformed into a toy. And we see Treyball. Now, that's kind of weird, because Treyball, his powers wouldn't seem to be able to transform people into toys. And someone was referred to early on this arc, and that person we know who that person is, but again, I'm not gonna say who it is because it's not revealed per se, and that's really it, to be quite honest. Oh, and one last thing, Tank. So we see all the military guys of the Dressrosa form military, and they're all bowing out to King Riku. Triple H bow down to the king, and Knuckles and shit. But what fascinated me was Tank, because Tank, Block B, when he was fighting, seemed like a real dick, like a real scumbag. But apparently it was all a front, all facade. And he was protecting someone called Viola. I'm pretty sure you can guess who that is, based on the name alone. So that's I'm done. It's simple, it's straightforward. The animation... there were no real fighting scenes to animate, to have high octane animation or, anything too big. So animation was overall okay. The pacing was slow, but it normally is, obviously. And overall, the episode, I think, was okay plus. So I'll leave it at that. King Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Oh my god, my fucking... I have to do a freaking Versus live stream real soon. So I'm not focused on One Piece right now. I'm sorry. So I gotta go. I apologize. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Peace. Have a nice day. OK plus rating.